back!
Welcome back to Don't You Know?
Yeah! So that last episode took a while to get out.
It was a lot of work. We had a lot of content.
Yeah. Hopefully this one won't take as long, but we do have a new segment.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That's true. I'm all prepped.
So our podcast actually might end up being longer now.
Better value. More bang for your buck.
Jacob won't be bored at work anymore.
Yeah, I like to listen to them. I don't know if it's like just reviewing, taking notes so I can do better next time. But, no, they are fun to listen to, and sometimes I'll get to the end and I'm a little sad. Like, oh darn,
Aww.
The sound of my own voice has ended.
He's also going, Raquel, when's that next episode coming out?
Yeah,
Raquel, when's that next episode's coming out? I'm bored at work.
We got thirsty listeners.
One thirsty listener. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, wait. I know what I want to talk about first.
What do you want to talk about first?
How was The Promised Neverland, Jacob?
Okay, it was pretty good. I watched the first episode. I'm going to talk about this without giving away spoilers, or maybe we can do like a spoiler and then we'll just say, oh yeah, jump ahead to like, I don't know, like 10 minutes in or what? No, not 10. Right in the beginning. Yeah, I'll start off without spoilers, so you guys are safe. I like the art style. I think it's pretty cool. A lot of it is pretty standard anime stuff, I guess. There are a few things that were done a little differently, like the scared faces. I've never seen quite drawn like that. I think they're kind of a cool style. I like how they like changed into the facial expression too. I don't know why that stood out so much, but
yeah, I like the style because it looked like a drawn anime.
Yeah, for sure.
The other anime looks like actual animation. This one looks like animation, obviously, but it's like a drawn type animation, not computer based. Right. I don't know if that made sense. I think it did.
I will say that I was a little I'm a grown man, and it was a little cutesy going into it. So I'm like, oh, why am I watching this? They're like 11-year-olds. But no, the premise is pretty cool. Definitely pretty interesting. Like, I'm thinking about, again, trying to keep the spoilers down. The big plot reveal definitely caught me off guard. Like, I was waiting for something to happen, but, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's the whole first season's done. The dub version is not fully done yet. They're only up to, like, episode 5, I think, or 6. I think 6 coming out on Sunday.
Yeah, I didn't really realize it was an active, like, ongoing show. I mentioned it in a chat that I'm in, and somebody else was like, oh, yeah, that's really good. I'm watching it. I can't wait for the next season or something. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I actually have all the books right now, Jacob. So if you ever came back over here and wanted to read them.
Oh, yeah.
I also read them online.
Yeah, let's say some websites have them, I know.
Yeah. So I also buy the books because, I really enjoy it. So gotta support the author, you know.
Yeah. All right, so should we do like 1 minute of a no holds barred spoiler stuff? If you're interested in not having it spoiled, then skip ahead.
Just go ahead and skip about 1 minute and 45 seconds ahead.
Are you good? Have you done that?
What are you waiting for?
Alright, so I saw somebody mention on the comments, they're like, this is the same plot as Chicken Run. And I thought that was so funny. Obviously it's different, but I don't want to be a pie.
I don't think I've ever seen Chicken Run.
Oh yeah? Oh, it's the stop motion one by the people who did Wallace and Gromit. You know, the dog and the cartoon guy. And she's got like the little like crochet hat thing, and she's a little chicken, and they're all claymation.
I didn't watch it. I don't know.
Well, the premise is they find out they're being made into chicken pies, and they make a big escape.
Okay.
So this is a farm.
If you look at the very, very, very big picture,
you can oversimplify everything and make it like that. But it was pretty funny. It's definitely interesting. I got to figure out how far this like monster world goes, or like what's real and what's not. Clearly, there's some element of magic or something. So everything's not exactly what it seems. But when they found Connie in the back of the truck, she did.
Yeah, what gets me about this is, like, even though it has, like, dark twist, it is super, like, dark, too. They did the animation really dark. Because, like, a lot of times, you know, with anime, especially with, like, kids and dying and stuff like that, they tend to avoid showing the kids die anyway.
Right, yeah, and a lot of media is like that, too.
Yeah, and this one is like, boom, big.
Yep, there you go. I mean, it's a major plot point, and They're not holding any punches. There's mortality and
See, I really like this anime, and it's just kind of like, how do you describe this to someone without rooting that very
no, you
first
don't. You just say
episode?
just watch this. It's got a good story. All right, no more spoilers.
Dang.
That's the thing. If you haven't watched it, you need to just watch it. That's how you do it. Nice Blink-182 shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. This was in our picture that we did with the 90s band.
That's right.
I was looking at another Blink-182 shirt on Hot Topic this morning because they have a 2 for $12 tees on certain tees, and
Nice.
one of them was a Blink-182 one. And I have a $5 rewards. So I was like, oh, for 2 t-shirts, it'd be like $7. And so I was looking at some of the t-shirts. And I only saw the one Blink-182 shirt that I liked. I didn't really see any other t-shirts I liked. So I was like,
Nice.
Yeah. We'll have to come back to the anime maybe next episode. And don't necessarily have to watch more, but definitely have like a no holding back on spoiler kind of episode.
Right.
At that point, you had 2 weeks, man. Come on.
Yeah. So, this is a lawyer woman, isn't it?
Wait.
Oh, I'm going too fast.
We gotta do our updates.
Oh, the updates. Oh, standing by. How do I...
I'm gonna have to cut that out.
No, just edit where I like say it backwards. It'd be like Simlish.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of effort to try to do that.
Oh, just highlight the section and click reverse. It'll be fine.
Oh, I gotta find the effect in the thing.
Well, what updates do you have then?
Let's see here. We did our little kind of somewhat TV show thing. Mm-hmm. But I did say, cause remember I went to a movie our last podcast, and I said we'd talk about it when it came back.
You went to go see that movie.
Yeah,
me and my brother went. I don't know if you're hiding it.
I was gonna say it right now. You keep interrupting me.
Excuse me.
Me and my brother saw Detective Pikachu.
And how was it?
It was alright. It wasn't bad.
It was alright. It wasn't bad. Stellar review.
It wasn't necessarily like as great as I was hoping. Because I really like Ryan Reynolds. I think he's really funny.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was in there. He plays the voice of Pikachu?
Yeah. It was funny. It definitely had its funny parts. But a lot of the funny moments were the stuff in the trailers.
Oh.
So you kind of you laugh at it in the trailer. And if you play the trailer enough, you kind of don't laugh at those parts anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So then when you watch the movie, they're not funny anymore.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, here's that scene.
Yeah. And you have to put a lot of funny moments in the trailer because you want people to go see it.
Yeah.
But if it's the majority of the funny moments, then by the time you've played that trailer 50,000 times, all in people's YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah.
When people go see the movie, they're not as happy. So.
How was the plot? What was the story like?
It was good. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. So, what kind of gets me is the guy kind of looks pretty young. So, he has a insurance job, and he's not even entry level insurance. He's second level or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So, but he doesn't look old enough to be already promoted in a company.
Oh.
Maybe an intern or just starting off, but he looks more like high school, maybe college level kind of thing. But I don't know. I don't know his actual age. I don't know the actor's age. But it starts with him finding out that his dad passed away. So he goes to this city that has Pokemons and humans living together. They've banned Pokemon fights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pokemon and humans just live cohabit.
We're part of Team Plasma, obviously. Actually, I think that's wrong. I think my Pokemon lore isn't very up to date. One of the Team Rocket wannabes outlawed Pokemon fighting, but I don't remember. I think it was Plasma.
I don't remember that one, so. But he goes, and then of course he meets Pikachu. Pikachu's got amnesia. They're trying to figure out what happened with his father's death and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got a twist at the end, but it's one of those ones that as you're watching it, you're kind of I wonder. And then towards the end, it has kind of this build towards the big reveal. And you're like, oh, wait a second. I wonder is kind of turning into, I think so, because you're doing a big build up.
Right.
So, So it's one of those ones that, it's good. I definitely glad I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
If I paid, $20 to watch it, I would probably be pretty disappointed.
Well, did you get popcorn and stuff, too?
No.
No popcorn and stuff.
Nah. Frankie doesn't really eat popcorn. And so I get a large popcorn for the price of a medium. So of course, to get the large popcorn, because it's going to cost the same as a medium.
Might as well.
Yeah, and the small is like a ridiculous little small. It's like small, medium, large.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, medium is the ideal size.
I don't know. I get a small and it's still like $7. And then I only eat like the top third of this giant. The smalls that are almost a stadium cinema, they're not so tiny. They're actually a pretty decent size, but I only eat like a little bit of it because then they go cold, and then I don't know, I don't want to eat a whole bunch of popcorn, just a little bit. Sometimes. It depends. Usually I'm more of a candy guy. I'll get like Reese's Pieces or something.
Yeah, that's what we usually do too. So they actually have a churro milkshake.
A churro milkshake?
Yeah,
nice.
At this movie theater.
That sounds pretty good. I feel like that would be awesome if the like churro bits don't get soggy. Like if they get soggy, it'll still taste good, I'm sure, but I feel like it would be better if they were still like kind of crispy crunchy when they got there. Up the straw, I mean.
They're like a whole churro stuck on the top.
Stuck in there. It's not ground in.
Like, so I think they do probably like a cinnamon flavored milkshake kind of thing, and then stick the churros on top.
I gotcha.
Because that's what a lot of things do when it's like churro flavored. It's just like cinnamon flavored.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get popcorn. Our popcorns are kind of like the size of a medium drink kind of thing.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the popcorn container. Which, I mean, I guess technically probably is the ideal amount, but...
I like to pick the noisiest, crunchiest, like, I'll get, like, nachos without cheese and just eat those with my mouth open and be super loud, just to bother the... No. just kidding.
Sure you are.
So, as far as movies go, it's not really a movie, but something movie-like. I was watching... It just popped up. It was a video on YouTube titled, The Greatest Japanese Movie Sword Fight of All Time, in caps. It was from a 1963 movie called Zatoichi Challenged, and it was just like the ending fight. It's got like 5.6 million views. It was pretty good. It's very intense, real slow, more like a lot of build-up of just like well, the guy's blind, but staring near each other.
Stare down.
And then...
I'm over here! I am blind. I can't see where you are at.
No, I mean, I guess there's some suspension of disbelief. I don't know how he threw that one sword, but whatever. It was pretty cool, but the interesting thing about it is it reminded me so much of, like the old spaghetti western, like Fistful of Dollars, all the Clint Eastwood movies and stuff. The final duel.
Don't you remember we don't
goodness.
watch Clint Eastwood? Don't you remember? You're not going to tell people the story behind that?
It's not really that funny. In fact, it's just dumb. So it would make you look dumb. So I don't want to put it out there.
No, I'm pretty sure lots of girls agree.
Apparently, when you play apples to apples, a bunch of dumb girls think that sailors are more manly than Clint Eastwood. Okay.
I would like to point out...
I lost that round, if you can infer. They also said girls are smarter than Albert Einstein. Some severe bias in my friend group.
I don't remember that round. I remember the Clint Eastwood round. And I would like to point out that this happened around the same time that Magic Mike came out.
Yeah.
There is definitely a sailor outfit part in that movie.
I have not seen Magic Mike. Actually, I saw like the first 5 minutes of it. I'm sure it's a fine movie. I'm not in the demographic. Anyway, the samurai duel was very similar to the old cowboy duels. And I thought it was interesting how it's just very similar, like, feel, I guess. Like one shot or one slash and you're done. Game over. So the whole build-up and everything, it just felt very similar. And then I found out they were both filmed in 1963, so I wonder if they were like same director or something, or similar influences. I have no idea. It was cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't see the same director if it's Japanese anime fight. And then, of course, Clint Eastwood's on this side. I don't really think they'd have
the Dollars trilogy was an Italian Western.
Oh.
But he's American. Anyway, so basically I'm going to be watching cowboy movies pretty soon. Or samurai. We'll see which way this goes. I have no idea. Probably watch neither, to be honest. Just watch the final duels for each movie and feel like I've experienced them all. Microwave culture.
Yeah. Let's see here. Trying to think if there's any type of updates going on.
Oh, yeah. I got the secret project. It's in the works. I've been lazy.
Kind of.
I don't know. I've been exerting a lot of energy. It's just been in virtual sword fighting. Is that lazy? I don't know. Like, I'm pouring sweat when I'm done playing. I don't know how you classify that.
I was looking on GameStop at a VR set that they have, and it's like the VR set console, like, all together. so it doesn't need to be hooked up to the computer or anything else. And it's the
Oculus?
Oculus, that's what
No,
it is.
you plug those into a computer, I'm pretty sure. Oculus Rift? Or is it a different?
No, this one is not hooked up to any computer. It straight up says does not need to be hooked up to a computer.
Oh, it must be like a new product.
Let me look at it. It's the cost of a console.
Well, yeah, I'll bet. It's probably going to hook up the Wi-Fi, and it's got all onboard processing and stuff. Well, then again, I mean, even the Vive is like the cost of a console, and you still need... How much do consoles cost? I literally don't even know. I'm assuming $400.
Yeah, that's about right. So this is $400, or for like double the memory, you add 100.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, 'cause it's got to have onboard memory for sure, because that's where all your games are going.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's good to have a bunch of games, because, you know, some days you want to play this, some days you want to play that. You don't have to uninstall and install all the time.
It's called Oculus Quest VR Gaming System.
Oculus Quest VR Gaming System. What a mouthful.
People probably just call it Oculus or VR set.
Well, the Oculus Rift is like the main Oculus, so that this would have to be like the Quest. The Rift or the Quest. You said Quest, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I'll have to look into that. That's interesting.
Oculus Quest is an all-in-one gaming system for virtual reality. No wires, no PC. Set up with the mobile app.
I wonder if you can play with other PC players. I bet it is. I bet it would be. And then you just play like... I'll have to look into that. I'm very interested.
The sensors inside the headset precisely track your movements and instantly translate them into VR, while helping you steer clear of nearby objects.
Okay, that's good. Not always nice to punch the walls. I punched a wall the other day. I got too into it. Stab a guy. He was a bandit. He was a bad guy. Going for his neck. I hit the wall.
You can take it to any of your environment. It says take it anywhere. You can go outside or home or whatever. I'm trying to see if it lets you play with other...
It's got to be kind of similar to like how the HoloLens is set up. Man, the HoloLens is like $2,000 for all its onboard computers and stuff. And that's augmented reality. It's a lot different tech.
It hooks up through a smartphone, so either an iPhone or an Android. And needs wireless internet. So I guess technically
you're not playing
outside.
Fallout on it, huh? Well, I don't know. I'll look up some reviews. Sounds pretty cool. I'll bring it up.
Yeah, and you could probably do like a little kind of like, hey guys, don't do it.
I'm not here to dog on Oculus. I think they're fine. I think the Rift's a great product. Just like the Vive. I think they're both great, but I don't really see much. There doesn't really seem to be a rivalry on those. Like I've never seen, like on the Reddit or whatever when people are talking, it doesn't seem like there's a rivalry between Oculus and Vive. It's kind of just, yeah, they're both good. Which one are you playing on? Cool.
Nah.
Or maybe there is and I'm just not seeing it. I have no idea. There probably is. I mean, let's be real.
Maybe it's just not big enough yet.
It's pretty big.
I know it's very big. I'm saying, like, I don't think it's on the same level as PS4 or Xbox yet.
Well, no, but...
That's what I'm saying. Once it gets to that level...
I guess.
VR is still pretty expensive, and I don't know how many games there are out for that as well.
I don't think it's a size thing. I think it's just a culture thing.
Because, I mean, I look into the VR set, but with it being the price of the same game console, I would rather get a game console because I know there's lots of games there's going to be already.
Virtual reality.
So.
It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, but that also involves having space to play it too.
Yeah, that is true. You do need space for sure. Or you'll be punching walls. You'll be hitting those nice posters behind you.
Uh-huh. My posters. My Dragon Ball Z posters. Okay.
So, should we get on to the topic?
Yes.
I already teased it earlier. I don't know if you edited it out or not.
So, with Memorial Day coming up, we decided to do an episode about that. So, I don't know about other people. I don't know about you, Jacob. But when I lived in Georgia, because we don't really do anything here. Well, when I lived in Georgia for Memorial Weekend, we usually would all get together and have like a barbecue.
Oh.
So I figured we do Don't You Knows when it comes down to barbecues.
All right, sounds good. I have actually had this topic told to me earlier. I'm not going off the seam of my pants this time, and I have a few Don't You Knows from different people. I have notes and comments and things. Pretty good tips. Got some shout-outs. I should have a lot of stuff to say this time.
So, I have a discussion also from someone, and I don't have too many Don't You Knows, but I have done a little bit for our new segment that we're going to be doing. So I'm trying to decide how we should go about doing this. Do we want to do our new segment in the middle, first, or last?
Let's do it in the middle. Or maybe last. Let's try for the middle, but maybe we'll just run out of stuff and then just close with it.
Okay then.
Still flying by the seam of my pants. Do you know the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day? This is something I just learned recently.
I don't know what to say here.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward one. We already talked about this. Well, let's pretend that we haven't talked about this.
Okay, then. No, I don't know.
I'll just tell for our...
Please inform me.
So, if you didn't know already, Veterans Day celebrates, and it's in August, I believe. August. Maybe early November. Anyway, Veterans Day celebrates the veterans, the ones who have come back and survived the war. Memorial Day memorializes those who did not. The whole different emphasis is you thank a veteran on Veterans Day, and you pour one out for those who didn't make it back on Memorial Day. So it's a little more somber of a... Well, Veterans Day is pretty somber too. That's some tough stuff. But Memorial Day is a pretty somber holiday. Like, that's not a... When I finally learned the difference, I was like, I should not confuse those two. But there you go. So
you're starting early on your Memorial Day there, Jacob.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm just playing with you. For all I know, that just could have been because you had a messy house and that's why you lifted it up.
Oh, psh.
Okay then.
So cookouts.
I only really have one, don't you know? And it kind of also plays into this new segment. So why don't you go ahead and start it off?
Okay, well, I see this has two categories. So we could have Don't You Knows from Are You the Chef and you are grilling or helping the chef to grill? Are you throwing the cookout? Or the Don't You Knows for the guests who come and mooch off the host and don't clean up and all that sort of jazz.
I have a Don't You Know now.
How should we start out? Should we start from the chefs or from the guests? I guess the chef, right?
I think we could just kind of intermingle them. I don't know.
Intermingle?
Yeah, because I don't know.
Well, my first ones are from a chef's perspective, so maybe we can go through some of these.
Yeah.
These are from a recent father named Austin. He's talking about, as the host, he says, "Don't you know? If you can't cook, you should delegate to someone who can." I think that's a very fair point.
I think that should lead into either a very, very close friend that can say this or not, or someone like a close friend or someone that this person trusts, but don't you know that you should probably tell someone that they can't cook? Because how are they supposed to know?
Oh, sometimes you just know. Like, I know I haven't practiced a lot. I can actually do okay when I'm following a recipe or something, but I think I could barbecue if I had to. It's easy. You just throw some meat in the grill, and everyone who barbecues face palms. You gotta marinate stuff and make sauces and things, but I don't know. Some people know that they can't cook. Like, they're just, oh yeah, I don't really cook. I'll burn everything.
I don't know how to describe this person, especially without giving away who they are, which they're not going to listen to this. But someone else, no, I'm positive they aren't listening to this because they're like, we don't get along. So,
well, screw them.
Other people who I'm close to get along with to this person. So it's like, kind of. Anyways, but they thought they could barbecue very awesome. And me and another person were like, this person sucks. But we're not close to them, so we can't say.
I don't know. I guess dry is the only way I think you could really mess up barbecue. Yeah. Okay. That's I think the only thing. But even then, it's you just
very
look at
tough.
it and you can see it's dry. You just add some more sauce while it's cooking. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not.
It was very, very tough. It was I think it was steak or something. It was very tough.
Oh, tough steak. That reminds me of a different, don't you know, a different shout out from a Jen. She says, well done steak is actually burnt steak.
Oh, dang, that's my don't you know. That leads into my segment. Oh,
dang.
Jacob.
All right, well, what do you have? What's your don't you know on that topic?
But it leads into the segment.
Go for it. Come on, we'll do the segment right here in the middle. We're
okay,
here.
Sounds good. We're in the middle. Woo-hoo. Okay, so my don't you know is don't you know steak should be medium rare.
Should be medium rare. That is how I like to eat mine as well.
Good.
I'm not going to really police your food, but I think medium rare is pretty much the best way to go. You get the most flavor, and some people don't like the blood. If you don't like the blood, at least do a medium. Come on. Or at most, I guess.
Why would you want it so tough and chewy and what are we eating? Beef jerky?
Well, I guess a lot of people are they don't want the... You don't want the blood. If you think it's pretty visceral. You wouldn't just drink a cup of blood, would you?
maybe if it was beef blood.
Beef blood and cooked in steak juice. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I kind of get past it.
I don't know if I like A1 sauce or something like that, and you don't even see the blood. It's just like brown. You just think it's more steak sauce.
I don't normally put steak sauce on mine, though. Like I used to when I was young, I'd lather it in it, because steak sauce is so good.
I know.
It's like so
I still
tangy.
do.
But like, I try to appreciate the taste of the actual steak, though. And then towards the end, like once I'm halfway through the steak and it starts getting a little cooled off, then I'll throw in the sauce, because it's like jazz it up a little. The sauce is cold anyway.
Yeah, I know. I do love like steak, and I do appreciate like the flavor of it, the tenderness of it, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I love A1 sauce. I
Yeah, it's so
love
good.
it. So it's kind of like I still lather it, and everyone's like, "You ruined the steak," and I'm like, "But I really, really like A1 sauce." And it's like the only time.
Here's a testament to how good. I'm actually salivating thinking about A1 sauce.
I know, I am too. Actually,
That's so funny. I'm gonna have to get a steak this week.
on the bright side, this time I actually ate before our podcast, but it was still like 4 hours ago. So I guess
Nice.
not really.
I know,
Before.
your computer had to restart. It took like 45 minutes.
I know, it was
It's almost
awful,
midnight
and it
here. No, I'm
crashed
just
too.
kidding. Oh, yeah.
So I won't be like starving during this episode like all our other episodes.
Nice. Or that about during Lent. You're just always starving. Poor thing.
Oh, I know, it was awful.
Very pious of you.
We don't talk about the past. We don't talk
Speak
about
not
the past.
of the past. Speak not of the past. That's from Bravest Warriors. Did I ever tell you that? I love that.
No, you didn't tell me what's from.
Oh, he meets this. He's like, it's kind of like Adventure Time. It's by the same people. He goes up and there's like this little. She's like a fairy or something. He's like, so and so. That reminds me of that one night on. And she goes, no, speak not of the past, not of the past. And just shuts him up real fast. They're like, whoa, what happened there? It's like a little cartoon. That show's
Did they
pretty
ever
funny.
say what happens?
Nope, speak not of the past.
Oh, dang.
I'm sure they shared a milkshake or something. Very wholesome.
Ooh, Jacob, when we go to Japan, we should not necessarily share a milkshake, but we should do we should do like, okay, I don't know if you ever like watch enough anime, but they have like the thing called an indirect kiss, where basically you eat after someone. It's
What?
so like,
Oh, is that like bird feeding each other?
no, like, okay, so say I have like a sandwich or something like that, and I'm like, that's so good. You want to try, please? And you like take a bite, and you take a bite in the same spot that I took a bite. It's an indirect kiss.
Is that a Japanese thing or just like...
It's in a, I don't know if it's only a Japanese thing, but it is in Japan, and they have it in a lot of anime where they're like, "Oh, you took my first kiss," and it's like,
That is so goofy.
or like if the person really likes the person, they're like, "Oh, here we go. Do you want a sip of my drink? Oh, it's an indirect kiss."
I mean, I'm trying to think of every time I've like shared food with like another guy now. It's like you always bite a different spot, but then eventually that spot has to get eaten. I don't know.
Well, it's also if you share a drink with someone. Like if I have like a soda and you drink from the soda too, you share the same straw or like the can or whatever.
I
You're putting
don't
a lip
know.
in the soup.
If you're in the same room and you breathe the same air, does that count? I don't know. How this is I feel a little violated now. I would never want to share food again.
So what I was saying, so since that's such a big deal in Japan,
That's funny.
we should when we go to Japan like eat off each other all the
We
time.
just go around eating off everybody else's plates too.
Oh, nah. But I want to see like because they're so very like it. At least with the animes and stuff like that, it seems like they're very kind of not big on public affection.
Oh yeah, it's very proper there. Like
Yeah,
some
so-
countries are like that. Like you're literally like it's illegal to kiss in public or something like that. I don't know about Japan, but some countries are like that.
Yeah, so we'll be kissing in public. I kind of want to see just people's reaction if they'll like freak out because we did it. Here, Jacob.
That's funny. But all they eat is noodles over there, though, isn't it? They don't even have sandwiches.
Well, it
That's
wouldn't
a
have
joke.
to be.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. I think another thing too in Japan. Oh, well, maybe it's not in Japan. I saw a video on it, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's a big thing to hold hands on the train. So have you seen the video about it?
No.
So, okay, yeah. So when you hold hands, like, okay, so what you do is say you're holding onto the railing that is on the train because you're standing, so you're holding the railing.
Yeah.
And then the person puts their hand over yours on the railing.
Uh-huh.
That's like offering to go have sex.
Wow. That's a big jump. I always
And so
see like in like Like, that's always the movies, like, the girl drops all her books, and they go to help her pick her up, and then they touch hands or whatever. That's an old, like, kind of staple TV trope, I guess. But, wow, it's quite a leap for, you just get all these guys on the tram, on the trolleys, they're just going around, just, like, when they're not looking, they just touch your hand. Alright, come with me.
So, I'm gonna see if I can find that video, and I'll have to send it to you, but I'll also post it on our Twitter so people can see what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But we could do that too, Joe. See people's reaction. Because basically, that's what the video does, is that it's these two people, and that's what they do in the thing. And they have someone, like, secretly recording people's reactions.
They're, like, pranking. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
that's
they
funny.
do it, and the people's reactions are, like, they're, like, watching, they're just kind of like,
Do they like play it up like or do they like act all shy and blush and everything?
So like what it is like one person is like hand like gets close and the other one moves away and close, move, close, move, close, and then grab.
That's funny. I like that.
So, but I think the person that's moving away is the one that ends up grabbing. So it's kind of like playing hard to get. Okay, let's go do this.
That's funny. Spicy. Sure, there's all sorts of puns about trains.
Oh,
but maybe we shouldn't go down that road.
I have not seen that in any of my animes, though. So I'll have to post that video. Okay, so the segment that we were talking about that we led into. So what we are going to start doing, or we try to do, is find kind of like an article study that's been kind of done on this kind of general subject that we are talking about. And then we're not necessarily like pre-reviewing it or critiquing it in any way, really. We're just kind of taking the findings that they found and kind of just discussing those findings. So basically, I don't say this article or this study is like 100% right. All the studies are concrete evidence, and I'm going to be finding, and so is Jacob, we'll find articles that kind of tell what the study is a little bit or something like that, or it's just kind of easy to read.
What should we call this segment?
I don't know. We'll have to think of something later, because it's going to have to be punny.
I'll keep thinking.
It's going to have to be a punny segment.
That don't you know, it's
Don't you see?
Don't you research? I don't know. I'll keep thinking on it. So what does this one say?
This article talks about the findings with having your meat cooked. I believe well done. I don't think it's medium. If it's well done. And it was kind of hard to find an article specific, like one article, because there's a lot of articles talking about how having your steak well done is unhealthy, period. There's some articles that talk about how it leads to high blood pressure, some that talk about how it leads to cancers.
This one's saying something about dementia and Alzheimer's as well.
Yeah, so this article talks about how having your steak well done, or your meat well done in general, can lead to dementia. It also mentions about how there's a lot of studies that have shown that having the char has carcinogens in it, which lead to cancer.
Yeah, not good for you.
Which char is basically with anything you put on the barbecue. So
yeah, it's burned carbon. Same thing as smoke, but in like physical form, I guess.
Yeah, so
solid form.
So I mean, having it well done on top of being already in the barbecue is like a double whammy. So medium rare all the way. And I don't even like the char part. I actually prefer my steak in a broiler.
Oh yeah, when I make steak, I actually fry it on a skillet.
Yeah, that's what I meant, fryer. Yeah, that's how I like it.
Oh, I gotcha. It's pretty good that way.
And it'll get that little char burnt flavoring on top. Some people really like it. It's dangerous.
Yeah, it's like another Pulp Fiction reference. How do you eat your steak? Bloody or burnt to a crisp? I love that movie.
Yeah. So they talk about a study done. What they did was they studied mice who were on a high glycotoxin, which I completely butchered that. I'm sorry, people. That's found in like higher concentration in a well-done meat. And in the study, they found that the mice with the high diet of the glycotoxins were significantly higher to develop dementia-like symptoms.
Huh.
And then in the second part, they followed people who were over the age of 60 for 9 months, and found that the people who consumed foods with higher glycotoxins had more pronounced symptoms of cognitive decline. So basically, this don't you know is like a legit, don't you know? It's not just a social thing. There's some evidence to show that it's a good thing to eat medium
If you
rare.
eat your meat well done, not only are you not enjoying it, but you're also gonna die.
or not remember that you ate it.
But then if you eat it rare, you could die from undercooked meat. So medium, clearly the way to go.
You know, surprisingly, when I was looking for an article, I was looking up barbecue and I didn't really find anything. And then I started to think about medium rare steak and all that stuff. And I was like, I wonder if there's a study about what is really like, because don't you know, I really like medium rare. So I was wondering if there was an actual study where it compared people's actually preference and see which is really the higher preference. And that's when I come across this article. Actually, the one I came across was about high blood pressure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you really shouldn't eat too much red meat. I think red meat leads to high blood pressure. I'm not actually sure.
That too. But it didn't really have a link to the articles that it was referencing. So I didn't do that one. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But of course, I didn't want to be completely biased. So I just typed in. Studies with steak and about the comparisons between medium rare and well done.
Studies with steak.
I didn't really see any studies that were said well done is better than medium rare, health wise. I didn't see any. I mean, not that there's not out there.
You can send it to us. We're more than welcome to. You're more than welcome to help inform us.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they don't exist. They weren't the first ones to pop up, at least.
They've been censored. That's funny.
Because apparently it does say, like, all scientists say it's dangerous.
Yeah, right. It also says grilled fish, too, which is interesting because, like, I've heard that, like, sushi is very, very, very good for you. And I try and eat that a lot, too.
It's talking about what I was saying earlier, the charred part.
Yeah, the carcinogens.
Yeah, so it's not talking about being well done or anything. It's talking about carcinogens. So it's not necessarily towards dementia. It's talking about the cancer.
Mm-hmm. I have a don't you know from my mother.
Ooh, let's hear it.
She said she loved our Mother's Day episode.
Yay!
She says, I don't really have any, don't you know, do you have don't you knows about cookouts? She says, other than ladies do all the work and guys get all the compliments because they throw the meats that the ladies went to the store for and seasoned and marinated for them. Don't forget, prepared all the sides and decorated and made dessert. Like, man, my dad's got it made.
Props to the dad for cooking.
He just throws it on. You guys see that game? Flip it.
This is so good.
Delicious.
We're always saying stuff at the same time, same things.
And that kind of goes back to one that Austin said. He says talking about. Well, I guess we'll still talk about food. He talks one more about drinks. He says make sure that you have enough drinks to go around as the host. I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good point. You want to
unless it's bring your own beer.
Yeah, then I mean, it's part. If you run out, it's on you, right?
Unless someone decides to bring Coronas and they don't even like Coronas, and then they leave them, and so then we have to like knock on the people next door.
Oh yeah,
and, like leave the drinks there.
That's funny. I remember that.
I don't remember who that was, but man, weren't they rude? Don't you know, bring drinks that everyone likes?
Yeah, right. I know. I've come a long way. I'm sipping on a Bud Light. I'm getting old.
Oh man, we had a lot of Bud Light left over though too, because we got the big thing of cans because we all were going to try shotgunning.
That was terrible.
I think there was a couple of people who gagged the first time around, and then we tried a second time around, and people actually threw up.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Somebody did,
but that was outside. I think two or three people did.
There's so much carbonation. It's like Pop Rocks. It's very bubbly. No, it's going to fill up a lot of space. No wonder you throw up when you're shotgunning. Yeah, it's so tough. Do you want to talk about the guest side? So attending, or do you have any more about hosting cookouts? Have you ever hosted a cookout? You said your family did back in Georgia.
Mostly we did.
But were you part of it?
I never hosted one personally. We usually just went over to my grandma because my grandma had the bigger house.
Oh yeah. Be fair, I've never hosted one either.
Yeah, I guess, don't you know that the person who hosts is the one with the bigger home to accommodate everyone?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. It's nice to have room to stretch out.
And the one that has a barbecue as well, because not everyone has barbecues.
That's
don't
nice
host
too.
If you don't have a barbecue.
You can't exactly throw a grill in the back of a car very easily. I think you can throw it in the back of a truck.
You can still throw parties or like cookouts or whatever. It's just no barbecue if you're hosting and you don't have a grill. Which, like I said, I don't care too much for grill stuff anyways.
I do on occasion.
I only have really one more don't you know that I thought of at the beginning, and it goes towards guests. And then I have a discussion. That's all I have.
Well, from the guest's side, don't you know that you should always bring something to the party, if you can help it?
That's what I was going to say.
Darn. Well, what would you bring to a party? What's your kind of go-to? Would you bring a chips and dip or
monkey bread?
Monkey bread. Oh yeah, monkey bread's pretty good.
That's my go-to.
I'm a crock-pot king. Whenever it goes to some sort of
yes,
social
you are.
outing, yeah, that's my go-to because it's so easy. You just throw all the stuff in. It makes a big serving. You bring the whole thing and you set it down, and it's good to go. That's the best thing for like potlucks. Is bring a crock-pot. I got a whole book. Awesome.
Yeah, you can make like nacho, like really good nacho cheese with like the meat, the queso, all that stuff.
Yeah, Joelle did
people
that
just
once.
take just.
It's pretty good.
But basically, okay, so this is what I want to try to make. I haven't done it yet because my uncle is still working on it in the kitchen, and sometimes he pulls out the oven, and it's a hassle to try to cook around him.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Too many cooks.
Not my uncle that lives here, my other uncle, he's fixing the kitchen. Like, they replaced all the cabinets.
Oh, I thought
and
you
they're
were saying
painting the
while
walls and stuff
cooking.
like that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I misunderstood.
I was gonna do it on Friday. He doesn't cook on Friday. We usually go out and eat and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So, what I want to try making is I would put it in the crock pot and I make basically a buffalo chicken ranch dip kind of thing.
Nice.
Then, when I got home, I would cook some french fries. Then I put the buffalo chicken ranch dip stuff over the french fries in a casserole dish, put some mozzarella cheese on, put it back in the oven until the mozzarella cheese was melted. Then that's how we would eat it, like a casserole kind of thing.
That sounds pretty good. So you just like take a whole slice of it almost?
Mm-hmm.
Yum.
Well, not too much because that stuff is like super heavy.
Oh,
I made it like a pizza with it, and it was so good. It was so heavy. You ate like one slice, and you were so full.
You're done. Game over.
Mm-hmm.
Go sit and enjoy your food coma.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I want to do that. I'm going to try making that. I think it would be pretty good. It sounds like it would be pretty good.
I got a family-size frozen lasagna thing I want to get cooking for me and Sally and Joelle. Got a steamed broccoli bag too. Yeah, something. I don't remember what it was, but I just grabbed it.
Stouffer is my favorite lasagna.
Nice.
Like one of the days that it was just me here on the weekend, I don't think I got the family size one. I think I got the smaller one. And I ate that for like the whole weekend.
Oh, nice.
But more like the whole day. I didn't eat it. I don't think it made it the next day. I think it was like the whole day. I sat and watched TV and like I super vegged out and just ate lasagna and watched
just
TV.
Had the pan on your lap, just going at it. That's pretty funny. That's a pretty good weekend.
Yeah.
My weekend today has been Minecraft with a friend. And tomorrow I have to do... This is relevant. Tomorrow I have to do a big car part work on my car. So for like 8 hours I'm going to be swapping. I was supposed to do it today, but I decided to push back to tomorrow. I'm doing my intercooler.
Mm-hmm. My weekend today has been kind of lazy. I didn't really do much at the very beginning, and then I started doing laundry and kind of still chillaxed while my laundry was getting done.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I made my bed because I washed all my sheets and my blankets and my like side blankets. You know what I'm talking about? Like the ones you don't really use, they're at the foot of your bed and you might use it on occasion.
Yeah, when it gets a little chilly.
Yeah, so I don't wash those too often because I don't use them too often. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just wash all those, wash all my sheets, wash Frankie's sheets, wash my blanket.
Nice.
Did all my laundry.
What a good sis.
Yeah. So I was making my bed, his bed, put my clothes up, relaxed a little bit longer. Then I went to Michael's to return my mom's Mother's Day gift and get her something else.
Oh, it went over that well, huh?
So, no, what it is my mom, like I said, my mom collects shot glasses.
Uh-huh.
And the little, because we talked about this, I think we talked about it on the last episode.
We did.
And the little shells were too small. So I went and got her an actual shot glass thing. And nice. I realized why I didn't buy it to begin with. I thought it was because I was like, this one has more shelves. But what really was that this one was like twice the price of the other one. Huh. And not just like, oh, Raquel, you're just being cheap, but like a super, super expensive shot glass case.
Oh, yeah.
Like my mom would be very upset if she knew how much it was. But luckily, when I went there and returned the other one and looked to go see, because like I said, I was like, okay, well, I'll just go get the other one then. And I saw the price. I was like, oh, god damn, no wonder I didn't take it. But it was half off today. So it was basically the
Oh.
same price as the other one. So
Nice. Good deal.
yeah, so I got that one, and I got another thing for Frankie. I'm going to give it to him as a birthday present. I told him I would get him one. It's a frame for his t-shirt that he has. He has a t-shirt signed by Logic.
I remember you saying that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so this is a shadow box to display t-shirts. I don't know how it works, but I told him I would get him one, so instead of just giving it to him, I just give it to him as a present. Be like,
Yeah.
oh, here you go.
That's pretty cool.
And it was half off as well, so.
Sweet. Bargains.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, the reason I brought up tomorrow's car plans is because I did not have any food in the house, and I had to go grocery shopping because if I'm taking my car apart and I get hungry, I can't exactly run out to go grab food. So I got the lasagna.
Postmates, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if we have those around here. And besides, I'm not going to pay like $20 for someone to bring me food. Psh, that's so much waste.
Postmates actually doesn't, I don't know how, but apparently I'm an unlimited member on Postmates, at least until the 21st of this month. So I get free deliveries on orders that's like over like $10 or $15 or something like that.
Nice. You still got to tip the driver, don't you?
Yeah, that's the thing is, then you gotta turn around and tip the driver. And then sometimes they have a service fee, and sometimes they raise the prices on the items. So yeah, it's pretty expensive to have something delivered when it's like right around the corner.
If one of your brothers was like, hey, would you drive to like Subway and bring me a sub? I'll give you $5. Would you do it? Like, how much would they?
No. Is he gonna buy me a sandwich too and go with me? And even then, no, because I don't like Subway. I like Jersey Mike's. That's what I had for lunch today.
You know what I mean? How much would it take for you to go bring somebody food?
I don't know. I don't like driving. I really hate driving, so it's really hard to discuss.
That's why you got to tip your delivery drivers. I don't want to go drive. That's funny.
Yeah. So that was basically my day. When I went to Michael's, I got Jersey Mike's and came home. Looked up the articles, make sure it's the one I wanted. Had to restart my computer and update stuff because I was all like, you have to update, you have to update, you have to update. I'm like, oh my god, okay, fine. Crashes mid-update.
Don't you know, you shouldn't show up to the party with guests that are extra that you didn't clear with the host.
So that's if the host doesn't, because we were talking about this, about one way making friends in like areas that maybe a lot of your friends have moved out or you moved into or whatever happened, which is invite people you know and have them bring a guest.
Yeah, having them bring a +1, yeah. But I'm talking about, okay, we're having a little get-together. Come on, you're invited. And then, oh, who's this? Who'd you bring? Who is this? Who are these 3 people? Oh, these are my D&D friends. We didn't invite them. That's different.
Yeah, okay, so what's the problem? Is it the more than one person that they brought?
No, it's the fact that when somebody says, this is a party, bring a +1, and you bring a +1, that's fine. But when they say, this is a party, you're invited, and then you just bring somebody without... Like, you should say, hey, I'd like to bring my D&D friends, or I don't know why I don't even have D&D friends. You should talk to them and be like, yeah, don't just bring people... No, I mean, D&D's pretty fun, and I don't really play it right now. You shouldn't just bring uninvited or unexpected guests. It's not your party. Yeah,
you should clear it. Okay, I was just making sure, because you kept saying 3. I was making sure it wasn't the number of people you brought was the issue, no. Or if it was just the problem bringing uninvited guests.
We only cooked 20 hamburgers, and now we have 24 people.
There you go. Yeah, that's totally fine. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just had to be clear for our audience and for myself because, sometimes we might not always be on the same wavelength.
He says you should also try and separate. Now, this may be a controversial subject. You should try and separate the men in one room and the women in a different room if you're hosting, so that the ladies can talk about lady things and the guys can talk about how often to flip the meat and stuff like that. What type of wood is best? I don't do a lot of cooking.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, per se. I think that tends to happen anyways, because girls tend to flock together and guys tend to flock together, but I don't really think that should be a don't you know.
I don't think there should be a no girls allowed on the porch sign or something. I think that would be silly, but yeah, I think it would be more of a natural thing, to be honest, is what you're saying.
Because honestly, I probably would prefer to hang out with the guys anyways, because I like
to hang out with the girls. Let's be real. I mean,
I think we have 2 different reasons of why we want to do that, though.
That's funny.
So it's just because they might want to talk about makeup or fashion.
I do not want to talk about makeup and fashion.
I want to talk about how badly the Braves suck.
I do not want to talk about I almost said football. I know they're baseball.
Sure you do, Jacob. Sure you do.
I was thinking Falcons.
You could be all by yourself now then, because you don't want to talk about sports and you don't want to talk about makeup.
I should be over there talking about video games with myself. With like the 12-year-old at the party. You like Fortnite? No, I'm going to talk about baseball.
Oh my god. You know how many Fortnite fans there are? You just said bye-bye to all of our fans who are Fortnite fans, which is probably like all of them.
It's past their bedtime. It's like 11 here. Oh, I guess
they can listen to this at any time. Okay, I only have a discussion. My discussion, which you just already said you don't know a lot about cooking, so this discussion might fall very flat.
Well, I'll see what I can do. I know a little bit.
I don't know anything, so we'll see. My aunt said, when I told her what the topic was going to be, she was like, okay, I have a discussion for you guys then. She was like, charcoal versus propane.
So I know that when I went home for Thanksgiving, my dad had a grill that had one side charcoal and one side propane. And we were talking a little bit about it. So it was like two different sections. So you could cook some on one or some on the other. There's benefits to each. I like that sort of having the choice to do the others. I think propane is a lot easier because you can get the temperature a little more controlled. And then charcoal's more like it's more like a constant temperature. So you can't really like open the top too much. Or maybe I'm completely wrong. I might be.
I don't know
wrong
anything
here.
about it, so.
I think charcoal, you give more of the flavor from the charcoal, though.
That's the burnt flavor. We don't want that.
And some people will do like the wood roast, where you get like the Jack Daniels wood that like smells like whiskey, and you burn that and cook. That's pretty good.
She was also telling me to check out the California laws with charcoal. Because apparently there's laws against burning it or something like that, but I didn't really find anything because it releases certain like gas that are bad for the environment.
Oh, CO2, smog and stuff.
Yeah, because we're all about the environment thing. Ugh.
I think I could see it, but I'm pretty sure our listeners could hear that eye roll.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm sorry. Our gas is like $1, $2, no, not $2, but at least $1 more than everywhere else. Because it's a special blend for the environment.
Yeah, but have you seen I've seen videos of LA in the 80s, and you can literally see the hazy fog and smog rolling out. So it has come a long way. It's a really densely populated area.
Yeah, but is it really the gas? Is it really the gas that does that though? Or is it the car? Have they got better with cars? Because there's a lot of cars that don't. Like, the newer cars don't even have to do smog tests. Older cars have to do smog tests, every year, every other year.
Catalytic converters and everything. I don't know, it's probably a mix of everything, It's a total of the sum. I don't know. And
does it really need to be more expensive?
Well, there's a lot of cost and stuff that goes in, and it disincentivizes, decentivizes?
When your cost of living is already so high, you shouldn't find more ways to make it higher.
Ching! They're getting all that money, though. People are still living there. You haven't moved out yet, have you?
They were trying to raise the prices even higher so that they can fix the roads, but they weren't even using it to the roads.
Oh.
They were saying they were using it for the roads. They weren't.
Fixing the roads, driving their Porsches down it.
Okay, so what's kind of, I guess, any don't you knows with taking food home when it comes down to a cookout?
So, the reason I asked Austin for some don't you knows was because I recently went to a baby shower, a cookout that he hosted. When I was there, at the end, he was literally encouraging everybody. He had so much food. It was amazing. And it was very well prepared as well. It's very tasty. And he was like, we have so much food. Please take it. So I think that depends on the host. I think if they want you to take it, because most people do not want to eat leftover barbecue for 5 days. Mm-hmm. They probably would rather have a bunch of people take a little bit and then everybody enjoys it for 1, maybe 2 days. Yeah. And that's the same thing with the wedding that we went to back in February. Or April, rather.
Okay, but was there, maybe a don't you know, for if the host says to go ahead, at what point, 1 plate, 2 plates?
Oh, yeah. Don't go crazy. I mean, I guess it's going to depend on them.
Or should you just politely decline if you notice there's not, a lot of food?
Oh, yeah.
They might say, oh, go ahead, take some home. But then, you look at it, it's not, a lot, so... And there's a lot of people, and they might want to take some to, at what point do you,
I think I would take, if I was, seriously eyeballing some food or whatever, I'd take, a normal plate, load it up, do an appropriate serving, wait around. If people start leaving and there's still food, be like, hey, I'm gonna grab a second plate. And be like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Sweet. Bam. I'm grabbing it. All of this cheesecake. whatever it is. You don't barbecue cheesecake.
Okay, so say a lot of people will take a second plate, say for a spouse that's not there, who's not able to come, maybe they were working or whatever, maybe kids that are not there. How many plates are you allowed to take for these people who did not come to this barbecue?
Sucks to suck. You weren't there, you don't get a plate.
Oh, dang, Jacob.
No,
ladies, he's very single if you don't want a plate for him to bring you a plate.
No, because he'll be right there by my side at the cookout. I'll even feed you. What is she doing that she doesn't want to come with me to a cookout? What could be more
Indirect kiss, Jacob.
It's funny.
Scandalous.
I got another don't you know. Don't you know, barbecue broccoli is delicious. So good. It's like spiky almost on the little top bits. You eat it. Pretty yum. I only had it like once or twice. My mom would cook it.
How do you cook barbecue?
Yeah, there's no like barbecue sauce. It's just roasted. It's just a roasted broccoli. You just put it on there, cook it in the fire.
You don't put it you just put it straight onto the grill, or you don't skewers or
It was like big pieces of broccoli, like a little tree.
I'm imagining little tiny little ones.
No, not the little tiny ones. I'm talking like one that you can hold in your hand and eat, like those drumsticks at the fair.
Okay then. So if I was fasting meat, I could do that and just pretend it's a turkey leg.
Yeah, it tastes a little different, but it's still got the char flavor, which we don't like now anymore. And ever eat any char. Gotta live forever,
I was thinking about it, and I might have offended people with with everything I talked about. No, I'm just kidding. But I think the train one I was talking about, it might have not been Japanese. It might have been Chinese, and they get very offended when you refer to them as Chinese instead of Japanese.
They kind of hated each other for a long time. They might still hate each other. I don't know, to be honest.
Well, I know Sasha gets very upset if you call her Chinese when she's Japanese. Every once in a while, I will feel like I'm in a teasing mood, and I'd be like, well, Sasha speaks Chinese, and she's like,
Yeah, no, they were literally warring right before World War II. They were fighting for parts of eastern China.
I'm gonna have to look it up now, because I'm I don't know if it's Chinese or Japanese or some other Asian, and I'm probably offending all these people.
You're seeing it in an anime, I can only assume it's Japanese.
No, it wasn't in an anime, it was an actual real life thing, remember, because they were doing the secret camera?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Would be Korea?
It's in China.
In China. Okay.
I'll find the funniest video of this one too. But this one says China, so it must have been China. So I am so sorry that I said Japanese. Because they also get very offended when you call them Japanese as well.
Arigato.
But I was thinking about it.
Arigato means thank you, I think.
Yeah, it does. Gome. Something like that. I probably really butchered that. I'm really sorry. I attempted though. I don't know if that counts. But it's gome or something like that. I hear it all the time in the anime. Gome, I'm so sorry, gome.
That's funny. I do like going back to The Promised Neverland. It is kind of funny when I'm listening, because I watched it subbed. And so you hear the Japanese just going, and it sounds very fast just to me, because I don't know any of it. Hear a little bit, and then this is something about it's one of the characters has the stuffed animal bunny. Mm-hmm. You hear little bunny or something like that. And it's pretty funny.
Oh yeah,
little bunny or something like that. It's just funny picking up the certain words.
Yeah, I do like sometimes when you watch it in sub, they have names of stuff, and so it's just they say something and then you hear an English word, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. A lot of brands will do that. There's something Coca-Cola, and you're like, what?
Oh, I love our facial reactions. Ooh.
I know that one. I speak Japanese. That's funny.
Tokyo. I know that one.
Ay.
Thing is with gome, I don't think it might be something with two expressions for showing that you're sorry. So I don't even know if gome was the right expression for sorry in that situation either. So
I have no idea. It could have fooled me. I just know I like when I hear nani, but that's just because of the memes. It just means what? What? Nani?
Oh, now I know another one. I know nani now. Gome, arigato.
Ome wo shinduru.
Konnichiwa. And there's also something you say right before you eat, which means thank you. Thanks for the food. Which is why in animes, when you watch dub, they always, before they eat, they always go, thanks for the food! And you think they're just, kind of thanking the host, but, they legit always say this word. It's dish, something with a D. You say it before you eat.
No idea.
I think that's it. I don't have anything else. And it is getting really long. I'm hoping that I can edit this in time. Yeah, our article segment, though, didn't even take too much of a time adding it in. It's probably only 10 minutes.
I'll be honest, when you asked me if I had research, I didn't realize that was a whole separate segment. I'll do better next time. Senpai.
I am your senpai, by the way. So.
Yeah, okay. Nani? Alright, goodness.
I'm older than you. I'm your senpai. And I was also in a gray before you as well.
Everyone's just cringed. They've left our podcast. My neck beard is growing out. Well.
Anyways, whatevers. I'm gonna start having you call me senpai now.
Call you Raquel-san. I literally don't even watch that much anime.
It's gonna be Ofield senpai.
Ofield-san. Oh, that's right.
No, we're close. You don't have to say senpai. You just
Thanks.
say Ofield.
Thanks.
No, that's the thing though too. They do the last name and then they add the honor. And then if you're closer, you do the first name and then have the honorific. I can't pronounce it. I don't know why. And then when you're super, super close, you don't even have to do that. You just say the name.
Right.
I don't know if I would like that. I don't really like my last... I do like my last name to extent, but I don't like to be called it. It makes me feel like I'm on a sports team when someone calls me by my last name.
Or like your military or something.
Yeah, I mean, I really like my last name. I wouldn't mind putting my middle name as my last name. Because, some people, when they get married, they make it where their last name is now their middle name.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't know how much... I like my last name. I would like to do that, but I don't know if I would. Because a lot of times the security question is, what's your mother's maiden name? And so, with it being my middle name, it makes it pretty easy for my kids
you
to...
could just pick a different one. A different security question, then.
Yeah.
Besides, aren't you going for the triple R?
No, I can't go for the triple R.
Oh, not the double R. My bad.
The double R, yeah. I can't go for the triple R. Now, if the person I marry has a last name that starts with K, or a last name that starts with C, I probably will put my middle name and my last name as my middle name, because then it'll be R-O-C or R-O-K, Rock, which is my nickname.
Nice.
So, dang it, Sasha's last name used to be Kibido. It would have worked. No, just kidding. I don't think she listens. But Sasha, I mean, come on.
It just change your name. It's like $100.
Nah, that's okay.
Nah.
Like I said, I do like my last name. I don't know. We'll see.
One day when you're president, everyone will have a lot of respect for your name will ring among legends, is what I'm getting at.
I don't want to be president.
No, well, vice president.
I don't want to be vice president either.
Oh, fun, but with less than half the responsibility. Nobody's mad at Pence right now. A lot of people are, actually, but...
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I don't really want to be in that much of the public light. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so with the segments, really, it's not too big of a big thing that's going to be going on. It's just going to be... Really, maybe we just talk about one article. I was just saying because I felt like the meat one was cool, but it wasn't really a social thing. It was more of a scientific thing. I wanted to find something more social, kind of like the one that we were talking about, which we'll probably use maybe when we talk maybe about a topic about friends. So we'll probably only do one.
That makes sense. We'll have to redo both. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. I may find a cool one.
But I might find one that is something to have one, but maybe it's not the greatest thing. So if you look for one, you find a really good one, then obviously we'll use yours.
Yeah.
And if we both have really good ones, then we could do both. So it's not limited to only one.
We just find 50, and it'll just be a big, long lecture. So if you turn to page 54 of your textbook, steaks well done or rare. I don't know what our next topic is.
I don't know. I guess we can talk about it once we go off the air.
Yeah.
Off with the recording. I don't know really about air. Or recording. We could talk about it. Maybe someone will give us a suggestion. Maybe if they give us a suggestion, we'll probably do it the week after.
Give us a little tweet from your tweeter.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and say goodbye to everyone, Jacob.
Goodbye to everyone, Jacob.
There you go. So don't forget to follow us. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share.
I tried to comment on the last episode on Podbean. And it said, I was logged in, I was on the computer, and I clicked comment, and it said, please download our app. And I was very disappointed.
Oh, dang. I'm sorry, people, if that's what happened. I did not know that was the case. That's quite stupid. No one has comment. Anyways.
Maybe I need to download the app then, so that I can comment.
You guys don't have to comment. You could just send us a tweet or
I'm going to go
email.
back and put first on every comment now. First.
Jacob. Someone's gonna try to beat you now.
I know, now you gotta beat me to it.
You're gonna have to do it before I post this then, where people's like, well, I'll beat him.
It's a race. That's
We have a head start.
But thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it. Especially if you made it this far. We're rambling on about everything.
I know. Jacob's trying to, like, isolate all of our fans, too. Every comment.
Hey, all publicity is good publicity. If somebody goes, listen to this, you can't believe what these jerks said about the I almost picked on another group, but we won't pull them back into the light.
You all. I think I don't even know which group this is, but every time we talk about this, you always seem to have one group in mind when you
No, it's a different one.
It's a different one.
It's a different one this time.
Okay.
It's funny.
Yeah, so don't forget to follow. Don't forget to share. We really appreciate when you guys share. I don't actually see any notifications, I don't think, if someone shares it. So, but if you do share it, that's great. Thanks.
You're an all-star.
Yeah.
And sharing is caring.
And so send us a tweet if you want with some suggestion. If you don't want to post your suggestions or your don't you knows out where everyone can see it, you can send us an email at don'tyouknowpod@gmail.com. And I will probably get those notifications more quickly than if you do Twitter, because I only see Twitter when I go onto my computer, which isn't too often. But I have the email on my phone, so I see those actually as soon as those come in.
Nice. Want to hear something kind of fun?
What's up?
The clock has just rolled over. It is the 19th for me, and it's the 18th for you.
Mm-hmm.
How's it feel to be in the world of yesterday?
My birthday was actually kind of like that. My mom went into labor on the 18th, but I was born at midnight. It was like 12:34, so it was the next day.
Wow.
So for like 12 years, my dad could not remember my birthday.
That's funny.
It was probably longer, but I just remember 12 years at least, because I know he had to take me for a physical exam, and they were like, when's your birthday? And he's like, oh, when's your birthday again? Was it the 18th or the 19th?
Well, it'd always be the later date.
That's true. You tell him that.
Well, we should continue the wrap up, I think. I totally threw us down a rabbit hole.
Yes. Okay. I think that's it. Send us some don't you knows or whatever. We'll talk about it. I mean, we actually already have a couple, like, this whole episode is almost all guest don't you knows.
Yeah. It's good.
And suggestions.
Appreciate that.
We would love to do that. And if it's over a topic that we've already discussed, we'll go ahead and still throw it in. Just let us know. So, until next time, guys. See ya.
Later.